very warm welcome to Let's Get It On with me, Suzanne Letting. Each week we're going to be listening to brand new releases from artists all over the globe. So now's the time to grab that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, or even a glass of wine as we get lost in some fabulous music.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and a very warm welcome to your Saturday night with me, Suzanne Letting, here on Let's Get It On. I have got a fabulous show lined up for you. I am not going to be here, unfortunately, to listen to the show with you all because I am at a festival, a very special festival that is happening in my local village. Now, we've got Here Comes the Sun, Stew's Festival, and this is in memory of a father, of a husband, and of somebody who was cut down in his prime on the Tunisia shooting massacre. His wife and daughter have put this festival together to mark the 10th anniversary of that terrible event, and they are turning this into something positive by holding a festival and raising funds for Nelson's Journey, a charity that helps children cope with bereavement. And I can tell you that we are so looking forward to it. We are going to be broadcasting live, so you are hearing the show on Mixcloud tonight at the usual time of 8 o'clock, so that all of you can get to hear some of these wonderful artists that I've got for you. And I'll tell you what, we're going to have our own little mini Glastonbury right now because we are going to dive into Stardust. This is from one of the crowd. This is just going to set the tone for tonight's show, so stay tuned.
Ready?
one of the crowd with Stardust. Well, I tell you what, if that didn't get you bopping in your seat, this next one will, because we've got MNTL featuring E.V. Palmer. Two great artists have come together. This isn't even out yet. It's not out until the 1st of July. So you can't find it on Spotify yet because it's not out. It's not been released. So you're hearing it. And I tell you what, you need to get this in your playlist. This is Fake ID.
Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, 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 shot. Drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Head to the bar with your fake ID. Just been paid, so you drinks on me. Shot, shot, drinks on me. Shot, shot, fake ID. Drinks on me. Fake ID. Drinks on me.
MNTL there featuring E.V. Palmer with Fake ID, and I tell you what, that is going to go into my little Beastie playlist, which I have now started on Spotify. So if you look up Suni, the Beastie tracks, you'll be able to find some of these artists that I'm playing on my show all in one place. So no talking, just their fabulous music. And of course, once they're on there, you can find them and follow them and also add them to your playlist. So following that, we've now got Rogue FX featuring Diwa, another great collaboration here with these two, and I am so pleased that this has been sent in to me because this is Dancing in the Night.
Different times. Now the universe There was magic in the air, and we knew it felt so right. We were dancing in the dark, we were dancing in the night, and the stars above our heads, they were shining just like ice. We were dancing in the dark,
We were dancing in the, dancing in the.
we were dancing in the night. We were dancing in the night. We were dancing in the night. Dancing in the, dancing in the night. Dancing in the night. We were dancing in the night. We were dancing in the night.
Rogue FX there featuring Diwa with Dancing in the Night. Do you know what? When I get my inbox, I get so excited because some of these tracks are just absolutely stunning. How can you not like them? And how can we not have a stage on Glastonbury with all of these artists? I don't know. If anybody's in the know, just let me know and we will organise it. So what have I got coming up next for you? Well, another great coupling. This is Castell and Maya Kamara, two of my favourite artists. This is Strangers.
Laying with your head on my chest, staring up at the ceiling. Not a thing on this planet I choose to replace that feeling. Still a taste in my mouth from your tears, living out the worst of my fears without you. Oh, the night that you told me goodbye was something out of a movie. When you wrote it, said I wasn't your man, that got straight through me. A grainy flicker on the silver screen, back together in the final scene. Can't sit through it, not these days. I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again.
If you saw my face in a crowded place, would you stare back at me? Or if the scenes to ever cross your mind, but they make you happy? Don't even matter, cause it's sweet too late. Find me in the places I hate, hoping to see you, hoping to see you. 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be strangers again, again.
Can you still feel my heart beating?
Cause it only beats for you. If there's one thing in my life I'm still needing, it's you. 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers again, strangers again. No, I don't wanna be.
You know I really miss you, baby.
You know we've been through too much just to let it go, to let it go. We know we have too
Leia Kamara there and Castell with Strangers. Now the next artist, Beyond Aram, I had the pleasure of interviewing a little while ago. That interview's not out yet. It will be coming up soon. You'll hear all about Aram, where his musical journey started, and you'll be surprised where his previous profession was and what he's doing now. So this is his new track, Party Train. Now, you know how popular the dance Do the Locomotion was? Well, Aram's hoping that Party Train is going to do the same thing, because he got all his village people together in the village hall where he lives, and he also had a choreographer who happened to live in the village, and she got together with him and they created a dance which he hopes he's going to take off. So you need to watch the video of this because it's out there now. This is Beyond Aram with Party Train.
Climb aboard! Mary was a girl with a smile and an apron. Offered me a coffee with my cinnamon Danish. I asked how she could always be such a happy lady. She said the answer's simple and it's free through all her climb on the party train, going past your door. Grab a seat, who could ask for more than the party train, going down the tracks. Climb on board, there'll be no looking back from a party train. Come and feel the joy, all are welcome, girls and boys on the party train. Open up your mind, get right on, leave your worries behind. She looked at me like she knew what I was thinking, held my gaze so steady it was me that got to blinking. She said, my grandpa told me when I was just a wee thing, all we need is faith and that is what we bring to our party train. Leave doubters on the platform, party train. All others get to stay on, party train. Your mama told you no lie, party train. Your only limit's the sky, party train. If love is not the answer, party train, you had better change the question, party train. Listen up to the announcer, party train. We're about to leave the station, party train. It's the time to make your mind up, party train. The driver's blowing his horn, party train. The lights have all gone green now, party train. Are you gonna get on? I got to thinking maybe I was missing out on something. Looked into her eyes and then was all done wondering. Took the leap of faith and then we got to loving. Life with all its beauty together, we got on the party train, going past your door. Grab a seat, who could ask for more than the party train, going down the tracks. Climb on board, there'll be no looking back from our party train. Come and feel the joy, all are welcome, girls and boys on the party train. Open up your mind, get right on, leave your worries behind.
That was Beyond Aram with Party Train, which is releasing soon, and you do want to watch that video when it is released because that is great fun, and I can imagine that's going to be on at all the Christmas parties and all the weddings in the future. Now next up is another track, one of mine. This is one of the crowd's version of my track Floating. I love what one of the crowd has done with this track, and you know that's what's lovely, is when other artists take an artist's track and they do something. And what Steve Mainwaring has done is he's added a little bit of his little magic to this track. It's very much a club track, I think, but this is the one of the crowd dub mix of Floating with me, Suni.
You
could never have imagined that track when I was floating in the sea on my holiday in Cyprus. And I love what Steve has done with it because he's given it a fresh, cool vibe and a kind of club night scene feel to it all. And I just love that. Oh, I wish I was back in the sea in Cyprus, I can tell you. It's a lot warmer than the sea here in England. Well, what am I going to follow that up with? Well, an absolutely brilliant track from our Praxis. This is DJ Works, and it certainly does. Praxis there with the DJ Works. What a great track that was too. Now the last one for set one, as I prepare for set two for you, is a new one from Peak Flow. This is Don't Die in Your Sleep.
Stay with you.
was Peak Flow with Don't Die in Your Sleep, and they set us up really nicely for set 2. And what have I got especially for you? Well, what I suggest is you get that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, that glass of wine, or a pint of ale, because I've got some ambient tracks to share with you, some beautiful musical compositions to get your ears into. And the first one is from Dream Up Project. This is from the Fading Light album, but it is a remix of the song Ambient Love, and I think you're going to love this one, so I do suggest you get that cuppa. Wasn't that beautiful? That was Dreamer Project there with Ambient Love. So lucky to be able to share this music with you. Now I'm going to follow that up with a new track from 7HZ Research. This is Sospiri. Now, named after the mythical resonant frequency of the human body, 7HZ is the project about feeling formula, creating emotive, story-rich tracks that evoke sci-fi daydreams, decaying brutalist skylines, and the timeless hum of voltage and imagination. It's a project by Essex artist 7HZ Research, drawing inspiration from early synth pioneers like Jean-Michel Jarre, Kraftwerk, Tomita, Wendy Carlos and Tangerine Dream. 7HZ Research blends analogue textures and digital sound design to create immersive atmospheric soundscapes. Now, they haven't got very many followers on Spotify, so I am going to add this track to my The Beasties track playlist, but also you need to follow them on Facebook. But have a listen first of all to Sospiri from 7HZ Research. There you go. That was sounds to soothe your soul, I tell you. That was 7HZ Research with Sospiri. Now, funny story. I did my Diana Ross set with a friend of mine who performs locally here where I live. And I can't tell you, it was so funny. One of the songs that I was singing, the backing track started, and I was singing one of Diana Ross's songs, which happened to be Baby, Baby. And the words go, please don't leave me. And at that point, Terry, who was looking after the PA system, walked off the stage and walked down in front of the camera. And I sang that line and then, boosh, everything went completely blank. And the next line was all by myself. And of course, the timing of that couldn't have been better. It was absolutely hilarious. But, you know, that's what happens when you're singing live. The unexpected can happen at any time. And then if I'm fast forward to the following day, I went to see Diana Ross in concert at the NEC in Birmingham. We had the most fabulous time. But bless her, there she was, 81 on stage. And she fiddled the whole first set with her in-ear monitors because they weren't working. And, you know, she had the grace to turn around to the audience and say, can you hear the guitar? Can you hear the bass? Can you hear the backing singers? And we all went, yes. And she went, well, I can't hear anything. And of course, she then proceeded to do the whole set without those sounds in her ear. And at 81, she pulled that off with such grace and dignity. And that's what happens to a lot of the artists that you're listening to on my show. If they go live, things happen. And it does happen. And it happens an awful lot more than we care to think. But it all adds to the experience. That's what I've been told. Anyway, let's move on, because next up is FM Stranger. This is Summer Love. That was FM Stranger there with Summer Love. Now, you know when you're on holiday and you stay up really late and you're sitting on the beach, maybe looking out to sea, or you may be by a lake or a river or wherever, and sometimes you just sit and in the stillness of the water, memories come flooding back and you're transported to a different time and place. Maybe it's the smell of the water, maybe it's the feel of the water, maybe it's the ripple of the moon on the surface of the water, but wherever you are, you kind of are transported into another world. Well, Demiurgo is giving us a little glimpse of that world, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. This is Eloch, and it's that space and that time in that moment when you recognise a place or a time or a memory when you're looking out across still waters. So have a listen to this. Wasn't that lovely? I don't know about you, but when you're listening to some instrumentals from the artists that I share on my show, they have kind of a soothing effect. And I tell you what, late at night, if you can't sleep, just pop the show back on, because those tracks do soothe you. They do transport you. And if you really, really listen, and I mean really listen, to all of the elements in these tracks, you can't help but be taken away from all of the stress and the strain that we all feel we're under at the moment, when time just evaporates too quickly in a day and we don't get all that we want to get done, do we? Well, I'm going to transport you again now, because this is another beautiful track by Max Project. This is See You Again. That was Mac's project with See You Again. Now, one of the things that all of the artists know, but as a listener you might not know, all of the segments that you listen to in these tracks take hours and hours and hours of labour to put together, and then when it is all put together you get the magic that we're listening to tonight on my show. And you know, a lot of the artists have to do everything themselves, from composition, from production, from mastering, from producing, for all their social media. It's a lot of work, and they wouldn't do it if they weren't passionate about their music. So I think it's only right and proper that we share some of that passion back right at them. Now, the next artist I'm going to share with you is ELXR, and this is Lights at the Edge of the Road by Luca Leonardi. ELXR there, Lights at the Edge of the Road. That was Luca Leonardi. What a lovely track that was. Now then, inspired by DM, New Order and Nitsa Ebb, Enter Me explores human emotions, relationships and life's contrasts through heartfelt vocals and atmospheric soundscape. And to me, it's got a brand new track out. This is In My Past.
down. It is right there where it's been around. Out of balance, still confused, so ill-tempered and I'm not amused. Haunted by the dream again, where I'm talking to my dearest friend, discussing all the mischiefs in my past, asking how and what to do, hoping I can see it through to the good things that are happening here at last. Shattered glass, it is up there and it's stuck in my ass. Waking hours, too blind to see why I fight and try so hard to flee. Haunted by the dream again, where I'm talking to my dearest friend, discussing all the mischiefs in my past, asking how and what to do, hoping I can see it through to the good things that are happening here at last.
That was Enter Me Within My Past. That was from the Town and Towers Group Music Management and Record Label. Thank you so much for sending that in to me. Now then, Stephen Garcia is up next, all the way from Corpus Christi in Texas, with his track Hey Baby, and he's going to set us up really nicely for set 3, because that is the palette changes. That's the opportunity for other artists from other genres to have their music on the show. And I've got a great little set for you too, so stay with me and I'll see you in set 3 straight after Stephen Garcia with Hey Baby.
Where you been? Are you in the county?
a store, and he said he's down to one speedball a day. Hope you're doing fine. Well, how time flies. I'm cleaning sober today. I just called to say, look out, woo! Hello, baby, so how you been? Hello, baby, so where you been? Have you seen Buddy since his dad passed away? I should have spoke at the funeral. I had so much to say. You know there's just some things in life that I better said face to face. If you see Velma, tell her I apologize. The way I ended things wasn't oh so nice. Tell her sometimes douchebag boys grow up to be sensitive guys. Hope you're doing fine. Well, how time flies. I'm cleaning sober today. I just called to say, look out, woo! Hello, baby, so how you been? Hello, baby, so where you been?
You're listening to Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio. Broadcasting live on SpectrumOnAir.com, Get Me Radio and Mixcloud Live. And never fear, if you've missed your favourite programme, just find our Listen Again service on Mixcloud.com. Spectrum On Air, putting the colour back into radio.
Thank you. That was the wonderful Mr. Steve Blacknell there, who I have just put the phone down from. We were having a little chat because he did an interview for another radio station today and it was hilarious. But I'm going to be going to his book launch on the 15th of July. It is out on the 9th of July. It's Tales from the Bedroom Wall. It's leaving no holes barred, I tell you. It's going to be a hilarious journey through his life in the media, in all sorts of different scrapes that he's got himself into, but he tells it in such a way that you can't help but chuckling, and I'm so looking forward to catching up with you, Steve, when I see you. Now then, set 3, as you know, is the Palette Changers, so we're going to kick off with the Darren Holland project. This is Elephant.
All apologies for the elephant in the room. Leave behind the keys in an ever-changing mood. In the middle of the room between you and I, we always hope elephants fly, bring down the walls. Don't worry, don't grow up, don't blink an eye. No worry, just another long, no stopping flight. Here it comes again, voodoo always looms. When we said the end, that was never quite the truth. In the middle of the room between you and I, we always hope elephants fly, bring down the walls. Don't worry, don't grow up, don't blink.
The Darren Holland Project is the brainchild of Darren, mainly a duo from Kansas City, Missouri, consisting of Darren and his wife Cheryl. They have included the talents of Bob Wilmoth and Scott Mitchell. All of the songs have been produced by Andy Oxman at Soundworks Recording Studio in Blue Springs, Missouri. The music is based off real music for real people that face the ever-changing world and all of the issues in it. And I think you'll find that The Elephant is a brilliant song. We all have them in the room, don't we? And I suspect at Steve's book signing there might be a few of them in the room, as he faces probably people he's mentioned in the book, but he won't worry about that, and neither will they, because he is the utmost professional person I've ever met. Now then, I am going to introduce you to an artist that you need to sit down for, because I listened to this. This is her, get this, debut album, and you are going to love this because she's just got something that I think Lisa Davis at Lisa Davis Promotions and Mike Armstrong have identified, and I think she's going to go really far, and I think she is definitely one to watch. This is Jess Eddy from her debut album Resurgence. This is Let Me Introduce Desire.
Step back, gotta move along. Sipping tea from a new cup, a new perspective when it gets tough. Refine my killer streak, not to be found alongside the weak. Live adjacent to the shame, cause my sun still shines the same. It's like I lost my head again. I need to reconnect from deep within. Crossed my wires in my past, had a sense it wouldn't last. Didn't rise but took a fall. My fate appears inevitable. Still can't find my chemistry. Find a new air that I can breathe. Live adjacent to my pain, cause my star still shines the same. It's like I lost my head again. I need to reconnect from deep within. Let me introduce desire. When roles reverse, there's a fire. Let me introduce desire. When the spark reignites a fire. Reignites a fire, reignites it. I said it reignites a fire, reignites it. I said it. So I'm gonna be headstrong, not stepping back, gotta move along. Sipping tea from this new cup, got a new perspective when it got tough. It's like I lost my head again. I need to reconnect from deep within. Yeah. Let me introduce desire. When roles reverse, there's a fire. Let me introduce desire. When the spark reignites a fire.
that was the incredible Jess Eddy from her debut album Resurgence, Let Me Introduce Desire. Now I've got 2 more tracks to share from that album with you over the coming weeks, and I think you'll agree you need to start looking her up now and bookmark her, because I think you're going to enjoy the next 2 tracks I've got as well. Now then, the next 2 artists are from CJC Promotions, the first one of which is Billie Oliver with Dream in Blue.
Black and white. Me, I have the same dream every night. I only dream in blue, never nothing new, a change of you or two. I only dream in blue. I'm sitting here on Sunday morning. You left without a warning. All the world was your stage, my dear. You made it oh so clear. I only dream in blue, never nothing new. My change of you or two. I only dream in blue. I can't take it no more. I don't want this no more. Every day is now a blue day. Things just never change. Blue moon shining brightly. Miss you every night. I only dream in blue, never nothing new. My change of hue or two. I only dream in blue. Only dream in blue. Only dream in blue. Only dream in blue.
Wasn't that lovely? That was Billy Oliver there with Dream in Blue from CJC Promotions. Catherine's given me another artist for you to get to know, like and love. This is Charlie Pace with Fishbowl. Charlie is on vocals, guitar and bass, and with extra guitar and synthesizers, Ray Nesbitt and Daryl Nutt on drums. This is Fishbowl. Charlie Pace there with Fishbowl, another new artist for you to get to know, like and love from CJC Promotions. Now then, I've got the second track from Stephen Garcia. Well, because I can play two tracks and because I think you need to hear this. This is Heartbreaker Road.
Lovers suddenly appear as you pierce the social covers. It's a sleight of hand and a twist of fate. Sometimes that's all that it takes. Sometimes it ain't real, but it's all that you feel. Heart feels heavy as you go. Love is one heartbreaking road. It's a road you can't control. satisfaction's not guaranteed. Read the warning label before you proceed. It's not always as advertised, 'cause when you're catfished, you're eaten alive. 'Cause sometimes it ain't real, but it's all that you feel. Heart feels heavy as you go. Love is one heartbreaking road, and it's a load you can't control. And where it stopped, no one could have known, 'cause it's the road. Heartbreaking road, yeah. 'Cause it's not always as advertised, 'cause when you're catfished, you're eaten alive. It's the lies and deceits, it's the free fall you just didn't see. Heartbreaking road, heartbreaker, heartbreaker, heartbreaking road, yeah. Heartbreaker, 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 heartbreaking road.
Stephen Garcia there with Heartbreaker Road, and that's just been added to my Beastie playlist. I tell you, on Spotify, I'm going to enjoy listening to that again. Now, the last one for set 3 is Mickey Cupid and Mondman. This is Mondman's remix of Summer. What a great track it is too, leading us up to boo-hoo, the last set. That was Mickey Cupid with Mondman, and that was Summer, and that was Mondman's Mix. Now then, before we go into the last set, I just wanted to give you a little bit more information about what we're doing today. The show is actually going to go out on Mixcloud at 8 p.m. tonight because the schedule has been taken over by a very special festival that we are doing a live broadcast. Now you'll be able to tune in on Mixcloud Live and you'll be able to see the festival underway. It's starting at 12 o'clock and it's going to finish around 10 o'clock. We've got some fabulous artists joining us, and it's for a very special reason that this event is taking place. And here is just a little bit about it.
Hi there, I'm Christine.
And I'm Emma.
So together with our family and friends, we are hosting Here Comes the Sun Stu's Festival, which is at the Blunston Plough on Saturday the 28th of June. And we are working with an amazing charity called Nelson's Journey.
The event starts from 12 noon and it's going to be broadcast live on Spectrum on Air. You can expect amazing acts from Sons of Mark,
The Man They Call G,
an exclusive DJ collaboration of DJ Nemo, Nick Lacey and Paul Nolloth,
Danny and Darby.
And I'll be performing as part of an acoustic duo in memory of my dad with one of his best friends, Jez.
DJ Ross Brown.
And in between all of our amazing acts, our very own Emily will be hosting some mini line dancing classes. So whether you've done it before or whether you're a pro, you can grab all of the family and get involved in these mini sessions.
And one of my favourite vocalists and performer, Daisy Rogers.
And we're honoured to have Georgia Falls as our headline act.
It's about bringing all the families together. We've got food vendors, we have Florence and the face paints, we have inflatable fun that goes from baby right up to adults. And also finishing off with a fantastic Nelson's Journey craft corner for the children.
And to top it off, we even have a raffle where incredible local businesses have donated. So everything from day experiences to hampers to local restaurant vouchers, overnight stays, bar days, you name it, and we have it. And we also have our golden ticket draw because we've had the incredible Warner Leisure Hotels donate nearly 10 UK staycation breaks, where you can actually buy a golden ticket and go into the draw. So they're £10 a ticket and you could win one of these incredible weekend staycations.
We'll see you there on the 28th of June.
And if you can't come to the event, that's not a problem. You can just head on over to the Just Giving page, look up Here Comes the Sun Stews Festival, and you can buy a golden ticket there, and you may win one of those fabulous staycations at Warner's Hotels, who always have some fantastic guests and artists that appear there. It's going to be a fabulous evening. The ladies want to raise at least £5,000 for Nelson's Journey. That helps children cope with bereavements of either a sibling or a parent, and they've done a fantastic job here in Suffolk, and we hope that they'll reach the target. They are well on the way. We'll also be doing a little auction after the event. We've got a couple of items that we are going to auction off. I won't tell you about that yet. I'll let the ladies do that. But if you have an item that you think you would like to donate, please reach out to me on any of the social media platforms, and we can then arrange to get the item either posted, collected, or delivered to us locally. Right, now I'm going to kick off set 4, and I think I'm going to start set 4 off with a wonderful track from the brilliant Michael Armstrong, who I had the pleasure of interviewing this week. This song, Matters of Heart. Now, Michael wrote this initially for his boys as a legacy track, but it upset him so much he decided that he needed to switch his mind and switch it into a memory legacy for his parents. And what a beautiful job he's done too. This is such a beautiful song, and the video that Michael created for this is definitely worth a watch on YouTube. So this is Michael Armstrong, Matters of Heart.
Innocent but keen to wisen up to all that life would have in store. We opened the door and I laid me bare. I believed that we could fly. It wasn't always eye to eye, but face to face, these feelings never change. Fortune came, and I laid me bare. It'll always be forever, and together this endeavor, 'cause we fought our way from nothing at the start. Could have done things better, but we managed it whatever, 'cause the only thing that matters is the heart. I decline no invitation, got ideas above my station. I'm afraid of growing up and old. Never told. I lay me bare. It'll always be forever, and together this endeavor, 'cause we fought our way from nothing at the start, and we could have done it better, but we managed it whatever. 'Cause the only thing
Michael Armstrong there with Matters of Heart. Perfect song to follow on from Christine and Emma's plea there for their fundraising event. There can be no illusion that we are all connected one way or another, and what is absolutely beautiful is the way that communities come together, and that's what we do on the radio. We like to bring communities together. So if you've got a community event that you would like us there to live broadcast for you, then please reach out to me, because we can virtually go anywhere. We've been in the middle of the field in New Milton. We're now going to be in a pub car park in Suffolk. So there is no place that we cannot reach, and we can broadcast your event and bring it to a wider audience. And also it's recorded, so it gives you a lasting legacy. And I think it's such a lovely thing to do. It's what we are passionate about. We are all volunteers ourselves at the radio station. And if you want to support the radio station, if you've enjoyed my show, you can pop over to Buy Me a Coffee and find me, Suzanne Letting, by just tapping into your browser coffee, coff.ee/Suzanne Letting, and all funds raised there are going into the radio station to keep us doing what we all are passionate about, and that is supporting communities, whether it's a musical community, whether it's a local community event, or whether it's a charity. That's what we do. Right, now I'm going to follow on from Michael's song with Nicholas Rickson again. This is from his album The Ravishing of Nicholas Rickson. This is Lockhart. This is Hollywood Brown, Miami Power Mix.
I
Nicholas Rickson there with Lockhart, the Hollywood Brown Miami power mix from the album The Ravishing of Nicholas Rickson. Now then, I think after all this excitement, I'm going to chill you out a little bit now, because we're going to be rather thoughtful and deepful as we dive into Steve Orchard's track from Deep Within the Mind's Eye. This is Wave Upon Wave. Wasn't that beautifully orchestrated with all the elements in that track? Well, all that's left is for me to say goodnight and God bless. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show as much as I have putting it together for you. We're going to play out now to Ren, and this is called Once Is Not Enough. And that's very true of my show. You don't want to hear it once, you want to hear it again. And it is available for you to listen to again on Mixcloud. And guess what? You'll also find it on Spotify. If you look under podcasts on Spotify, you'll find Let's Get It On - Suzanne Letting. All the shows I am now uploading there, so you can listen to them all over again on Spotify. And I've also got a brand new playlist for you, which I will put the link on my Facebook promo for you. It's called The Beastie Tracks, and that is where I'm going to be putting all of the artists that you're listening to on my show into, ready to play in your car, because I love listening to the show again. And what's nice about this playlist is that you won't have me chattering away in the background. You'll just have one song after the other, and you will have heard them all on my show, so you can actually then go and find them yourself and follow them. So I'll say good night and God bless everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Have a lovely Sunday, but stay safe and out of the sun if you possibly can. I think it's going to be a scorcher, so you need to be careful. Make sure you get that sun cream and you have a hat on. And I will see you next week. Now we're going to play out to Steve Galvin from Ren with Once Is Not Enough.